So what does it change moving forward? That's the biggest question here. Start with Aaron Rodgers. Impact Aaron Rodgers at all? I mean, everybody could say Aaron Rodgers has one choice. He doesn't. He has two. The second choice is to retire. But does George Pickens not being here? I mean, it is Calvin Austin, DK Metcalf season, which no matter how many times Russell Wilson compared Calvin Austin and Tyler Lockett together, they are not the same yet. So does it change anything for Aaron Rodgers? Is this less appealing for the Steelers?
I mean, it's obviously less appealing because they lose a very talented wide receiver, but I also think Rodgers probably had an idea this was coming. I can't imagine, when you're keeping that open, fluid conversation with him, you got to let him know about this stuff. I mean, listen, in the Pat McAfee interview, he did not mention George once. He mentioned DK, Muth. He even mentioned, I think, Calvin Austin in that, and didn't mention Pickens. I would imagine he probably had an inkling something was coming. So, I mean, that should be in his calculus already. But Rodgers, is an enigma, just like, in some ways Pickens, right? They're enigmas.
Yes.
And so Rodgers, I think his calculus is completely different.
Yeah.
And I don't really necessarily think this affects it that much. So if he wasn't coming earlier, this doesn't change that. If he was coming, I don't think that changes this either. I really think it's a completely separate conversation, to be quite honest with you. And so we'll see. The Steelers playing the hokey pokey a little bit here, half foot in, half foot out with all of these movements, but I don't think it changes much for Rodgers.
Dude, do you remember in your time thinking, because you were a fan before you were this, and even, before you were this, before you ended up in a locker room when you were like 15. And when before that, you were already working and covering the team. Do you remember a time where the Steelers were, this deep without like any, it's crazy to think that OTAs is in 2 weeks. And I heard Jerry Dulac on the Rich Eisen show the other day say, oh, there's still some time. There's in the NFL, the time's over. The time passed. Everybody's got their team. 31 other teams know who their quarterback's going to be, or at least some scenario that a quarterback is this or that. The Steelers are looking at it going, yep, we just got rid of our number 2 wide receiver that we have to replace, and we still don't have a quarterback. Do you remember a time like this at all?
I can't remember a time this uncertain.
Right?
It's really odd, isn't it? It really is. The whole Steelers' offseason has been odd. I wrote about this yesterday. They're like making moves for the future while trying to win now, like
Yes.
signing Darius Slay over this incredible crop of free agent corners this year. I like Slay, but he's 34. He's probably going to retire after next year. Rodgers, you're going after a 41-year-old quarterback to be your bridge quarterback instead of just maybe paying a few more bucks to keep Justin Fields. I mean, because you didn't want to give him a long-term assurance as a starter. It's been a little weird. They're like half in, half out. And that to me is kind of the theme of this offseason. It's kind of this middle grounding thing, but they've done this for a decade. I even remember back when, the Killer Bees were around. They refused to go aggressively, really pursue defensive players. When it was clear that Artie Burns and Sean Davis and those guys weren't working out, they never made a big trade until 2019 when Ben blew his elbow out to go get Minka.
Yes.
It was weird. So they've done this before where they haven't fully gone in. So, they have a plan, but here's the thing, man. They're probably going to pick like 17th next year, going to have to trade up 12 spots, give up their 27 first to go get the quarterback. And so you lose a premium asset for 27. So it loses. There's just a lot of weird process this year, and the quarterback situation's really highlighting that. If you're here right now without George Pickens, you trade George Pickens, so your team's undoubtedly worse talent-wise. You do what you did this offseason. It's just an odd mix of win now, future. It doesn't make sense. But either way, I can't remember a time like this. The Steelers, honestly, right now feel a little directionless heading into this year.
Yes.
It feels like they're just like, man, just get us to 26. Just get us to 26 this year. Somehow we're going to get through it. But all eyes are on the draft in 26.